My house. My house. Ever had anybody come up and say, hey, this is my house? Well, that's what we're going to talk about on this morning. It is 2 days from Sunday. We are almost at Palm Sunday. We are moving into Holy Week. And I got a word for you on this morning. Sets us up for the whole weekend and the week to come, as well as it just ministers to us today. Can you just put that in the chat area when we get started here? My house. Can you just say that? My house. This is my house. The text to talk to take away 5 minutes or less. It is time for morning manna. And I certainly have a word for you on this morning. Got to greet some people and then get right into the word. Now, typically on Friday, I give you a trailer of the message that I will minister on Sunday at New Life, right in Fallon, Illinois, the shadow of the arch. You ought to come and see us. 8 and 10. 10 o'clock is online. 8 o'clock is not online, but both of them is powerful worship. Come on and check it out. Let me greet some folk, and then we're going to get into my house. My house. Let me greet some people. Good morning, Brenda. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Minister Stent. How are you on this morning? Brother Nesbitt, how you doing on this morning? Elder Mobley, how you doing on this morning? Good morning, Pamela. How are you? Brother Pope, how you doing? How's Middlesex? How is everything? Verena, how is everything? Good to see you last night in rehearsal. Good morning, Pastor Leo. How are you on this morning? Francine, how are you on this morning? Elder Jan, how are you on this morning? Melanie, how are you on this morning? Look, you already know what you're supposed to be doing. I don't know why you're waiting to do it. You just know you got to go ahead and share this manna right now, because it's going to bless you this morning. It's going to bless you this morning. Can you put in the chat area, my house, my house? you ever, when you were growing up, and you were feeling yourself, smelling yourself, as we would say, and trying to rise up with your parents and everything, and they remind, wait a minute, this is my house. wait, hold up. This is my house. I pay the bills here. I do that here. And that's what this morning is all about. Actually, it gets us ready for Holy Week that's coming up. And then we're going to get into the word after I greet some more people. And then we're going to move forward. Good morning, Anna. How are you? Good morning, Gloria. How are you? Put it in the chat area. My house. My house. The text, the talk, the takeaway. Let's get with it right now. My house. Here's the text. The text is Matthew 21:31. Matthew 21:13. I'm sorry. A little dyslexia there going on. Matthew 21:13. My house shall be called a house of prayer. Let me give you the context of the text. This is Jesus who has come in the triumphant entry. We know it. It's a Palm Sunday, if you will, that what we call it. They simply call it that it is moving toward Passover, and there is the feast that's coming up. People are gathering from all around in the Palestinian area, and they are coming to Jerusalem. And here is Jesus, who's been at Bethany for a minute. So now he's coming in. He's going into the temple. Now, this text is sometimes used on Monday as well. I'm using it as Matthew puts it on that day. When he gets there to the temple, grab what Jesus says. It's extraordinary. We read it, but we miss it. He said, my house. Wait a minute, Jesus. Wait a minute. You're not a priest here. You're the high priest. They run things here. But you rolled up and said, now we know it because we got the end of the story. But they don't have that. Are you kidding me? You're talking about this is your house? That's what he declares. My house. And this is what's going to take place in my house. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a trailer, but I'm going to preach this Sunday. You can believe it. It should be called a house of prayer. First thing I want you to grab from that text is make way. When Jesus comes in, he makes way into there. What is he? Beats down folk. Come on. Are you kidding me? He makes the way. He makes the way by turning over the tables, by changing everything, disrupted the whole moment. What is he making way for? Because they have been selling sacrifices, preventing poor people from coming into the presence of the Lord. My God. Verse 14 says, though, that now the lame and the blind came in. Where they been? On the outside of the house that Jesus has now declared is my house. Here's the second thing I want you to grab. There's a cry out in verse 15. There's a cry out. He makes a way out, and there's a cry out. In verse 15, said the children, they are absolutely over the top with praise. At Jesus' house, you got to make way for those who have not been able to get to it, because there's going to be a cry out. Here's the third thing I want you to say, because some of y'all got to get out. You got to get out. You got to get out. If you are not in the house for the things that God has, could it be? I know you said, now wait a minute, Bishop, why you telling folks they can't come to the Lord's house? No, I need you to get this in a metaphorical way. That he is saying to them, because in verse 15 they are indignant. They can't hardly help it. They can't stand to see the house that they used to have is now Jesus' house, because Jesus is running things. Jesus is running things. And just be honest with you, if Jesus ain't running things at the church house, at your house, maybe you ought to get out. What's your takeaway this morning? It reminds me of the Under Armour commercial. The Under Armour commercial says, we must protect this house. We must protect this house. I'm going to preach this Sunday. Don't you dare miss it, because there's going to be a lot more to it. Share the manna. If it bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. And I'll see you Monday with more morning manna, and Sunday with a powerful word. God bless you.